Hi guys, welcome to Basic Stage Makeup for male and female, teenager and adult, dancers included. So first things first, you want to make sure that all this hair, any hair you have is out of your way. Whether it's long female hair, longish male hair, what have you. I do recommend that you, sorry, also maybe get some kind of headband just to kind of keep the little hairs out of your way if you're going to be using your natural hair on the stage. If you're going to be wigged, I guess it doesn't matter as much. You're going to need for the first step for the base to moisturize your face, which I have done approximately 10 or 15 minutes ago. You want to give the moisturizer time to settle into your skin so that there's not still a heavy greasy layer, which will make the foundation slip off. I'm taking a cream base. You can take Ben Nye is the one I'm using. Krylon, there's a whole bunch of different ones out there. You want to take this guy and a wet sponge of some kind and go right into it. You guys can see how red my face is. This makeup will cover up the redness, and it will also blend in really well. This shade is, and I don't know if you can tell, about my skin tone. You can go your skin tone, or I prefer, if you're Ensemble, so that you have some color in your face, to go one shade darker to half a shade darker, sticking to the yellow tones because those read better on the stage. As you can see, I'm just blending this in. It is not thick. It is a a thick makeup, but it's not a thick coat I'm putting on. I'm going all over. Look, you can still see the redness on my eyes, but you can see how this makeup really just does a great job of covering it up. It is a full coverage makeup, and it's made for the stage. It's made to last in the lights. It's made to last through dancing, sweating, oil. If you do have oily or excessively sweaty skin, there is another video that I am sending out to give you some tricks of things you can do before, during, or after all this stuff. Now, key step. Cover your ears. I don't care if you're wearing a wig or if you're going natural. Your ears, when you're moving around, get red. And you do not want that to be on stage, because that will be what people remember of you. You want to take this down your neck. It's a comedy show too. If you notice, when I'm putting this on, I am doing a pat motion, not a wipe motion. We don't want to do a wipe motion because that is going to leave you, hair, streaky, and won't leave your makeup really pressed into the skin. If your costume is a scoop neck, I suggest wearing a button-up shirt when you do your makeup. Obviously, you're not wearing your costume, but if you're a scoop neck, you want to just kind of take a note of where that is, and you want to go ahead and go over that part of the skin that's showing as well. If it's a sweetheart neck or strapless, you're going to have to go all over those areas. You may need someone to help you because you will be washed out on the stage if you don't, and two-toned. If you are going to have the back of your neck showing, again, all the way back. All right, so that's done. Next, you're going to take a cake makeup. This is for if you are very oily, if you are very sweaty, if you are a dancer. This stuff is amazing. Its purpose is to put another layer over the face. It also helps so that the sweat does not come through. It keeps your makeup on a lot longer, and it's just one extra step. This is something they do with New York City Ballet, with Broadway, with a lot of theater companies. So you just take your pancake makeup, you take your damp sponge, not soaking wet sponge, damp sponge. Look, I can't wring any water out of that guy, okay? So that's the side I use my foundation, and then I still have the other side. I'm just going to take another side. Just going to take some of that product on there, and you're just going to dab it on, okay? If the base that you got, the cream base, is a little off from your color, then this can help correct that as well. And as you can see, it's really doing a great job of covering up all my redness. Now I have naturally oily skin, but it's also naturally dehydrated. What does that mean? That means that my skin produces a lot of oil, so I'll be oily, but I also have a lot of flakes. And because of that dehydration, my skin can get acne very easily, which means stage makeup wreaks havoc on my skin because it's very pore clogging. But done properly and removed properly, you don't have to really worry. And we're taking that all over the ear, behind the ear, down the neck. And just from one side to the other, look at this. You can tell on this side there's still a little bit of redness coming through. I could go over that again with another layer of foundation base, the cream, but it's going to slide off. This is getting set. You can tell the difference. And I've barely used any. So one of these guys will last you many, many shows, and I believe 30 months once opened if you store it properly, which means not in your car on a hot day. And you can tell this takes a little bit of time, okay? This video is just the base. But you see how much I'm blending, I'm patting. I'm not going overboard. But this product will indeed keep you from looking like a sweaty, yucky mess on stage or an oily, yucky mess on stage. And again, anywhere that you put that base, you are putting this. So if you had to come down around your shirt, back of your neck, ears, under here, anything, perfect. You want to go over it. Okay, so now that that's done, yes, it's a thicker makeup. Not as much fun as everyday makeup, but it's stage makeup. Then you want to take a loose powder. This is RCMA translucent powder. If you have a loose powder that you put on your face that is a great setting powder that you really like, I'm okay with you using it as long as you're sure it's going to stay. RCMA is great. Ben Nye is great. Don't use mineral makeups. Don't use anything with sparkle in it. We want everything matte on the stage. You may wonder, okay, well, why can't I use something with a little shimmer in it? One, it makes you look oily on stage because of the lighting, and two, because there are other characters in the play who are supposed to be illuminated to look supernatural or magical, and if everybody's looking all shimmery and shiny, that makes them less special. There's a reason to all this stuff that we do. All right, so what you do is you take a little bit of your powder, your loose powder here. I'm getting it all over my computer. There we go. You're going to close up, make little lippies, rub that powder in, fold it the other way, rub the powder in, just keep going around until all the powder is rubbed into your powder puff. You can get a powder puff anywhere. You can get a big one, small one, medium one. I recommend getting a velour because you can actually wash these in the machine. But there you go. You can actually see the whiteness. Look. I don't know if you can tell. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see there's a lot of powder in here. So this cake makeup has been sitting here for a few minutes while I've been talking to you guys, which is what you want. You want it to sit for 2 to 5 minutes. It just allows it to absorb into the cream foundation and kind of set everything. And you're going to go in with this guy. And you're really going to pat it on. All because this is going to keep your makeup on the whole show. Take that down, take it over the ear. If you could see me in real life, I look like a ghost right now. I have a mirror over here, that's why I keep looking. Alright, so that's half my face done. Ta-da! I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more for the other side. Again, my face is super oily, so it just soaks up all that powder. You might not need as much powder as me. You'll be able to tell. And your powder puff may hold more. This is a really cheap one. I have more expensive ones like Laura Mercier and some stage makeup ones, but you know, this is to show you guys that you can even use the cheap stuff. Make sure you get into those little crevices always, like around your nose. Okay, and then remember, back of the neck if you have to. Alright, so that's done. I always somehow get powder in my lashes. And then, next step would be to just take a, well, you want this to sit for a few minutes actually, to really let it absorb into the skin, and then you can just take a really loose fluffy brush or a fan brush and kind of brush all that off. Let me see what I got here. Okay, so here's a fan brush. There's a very loose, I can barely touch, just very loose. Then after a few minutes, you just very gently, like you're brushing this on a baby's skin, take off that excess powder. So gentle you want to fall asleep. Anywhere that you put powder, even back of the neck, décolleté, anywhere. And that is the base done. Now this is, when you have that light on you, it's going to keep you into a very one-dimensional face form. So the next step would be contouring. But here, this was just for the basics. Hope it helped.